Hey guys, sorry for another one of these so soon, but in case you haven't noticed, the consistency of uploads has been a complete mess the past month or so, and in the past week alone, so much stuff has happened that's messing with the schedule, so I feel like now would be a good time to address all of that. I've also got some other important information you guys need, but for now, let's talk about the schedule. You'll see all of my recent uploads have all been Square Eye Jack episodes and nothing else, with Tony Hawktober being twice as big as last year and learning from experience. I started working on that in June instead of August like last year. The idea was to revisit Insane, smash out the entire Midas Games trilogy in a week or two, so that I could upload those over time while I worked on Tony Hawk in the background. Unfortunately, a lot of little things happened over the course of each of those productions, and for all my extra effort to get them done, I only gained myself 3 extra days. That sucks because already new uploads were going to be affected, and at this point, the idea of any top 10s, testing episodes, live streams, or anything else going up in the meantime completely disappeared. I'm only one man, and I feel it's much more important to focus on the main bread and butter of this channel, being Square Eye Jack episodes. But it occurred to me when I finished Croc that we're coming up on a huge channel milestone. 100 episodes of the show. So because of that, I had to have June through until November entirely planned. For such a big milestone, I wanted to do something big and special, but at the rate of episodes going up, it was going to land in the middle of Hawktober, and I didn't want some random episode of a week-long special to be like, hey, by the way, it's episode 100. The more you know. So the big 100 has to happen first. So I've been putting a lot of work into my planned schedule, getting the extra Midas episodes out, and most recently the Darkness topic. All of those videos I'm really happy with. It's been a solid lineup. But as these things go, the 3 extra days I gained myself to work on Tony Hawk, I was without my computer. Honestly, I'm pretty shit when it comes to computers, so I take mine into the store, they give it a look over, update shit and all that once a year. I took it in 2 days before the 1-year anniversary of buying the machine last year, and lucky I did, because my internal hard drive was close to failure. I'd been having trouble with the machine all year, just a lot of little crashes here and there, and that was the reason for it. And because it had been less than a year, the hard drive was still under warranty, so they replaced it for nothing. Didn't even charge me the time to swap everything over from the dodgy one onto the new drive. Well, I got my computer back, so now it was time to get stuck into making videos, right? Well, the first morning after I got my PC back, I had some unfortunate family business to take care of. Relatives were rushed home from all over the country for a funeral, which consumed 2 weeks of this production time. The original plan for those 2 weeks were Hawktober scripts for the first week, and other content like testing episodes and the Darkness video the second week, as it would be my last chance to get anything up before going all in on production with this skateboarding special. It's been so important for me to hit these deadlines perfectly because given the original time frame, the Reignited trilogy was supposed to land in September, giving me a week to get that review out to celebrate 100 episodes, which would then feed into Hawktober and hopefully help that be successful too. I had to have Hawktober done before Spyro, while also finding the time to get episodes 97, 98, and 99 done in the process. So losing 2 weeks, there is no better way to put it other than it totally fucked me up. But whatever, roll with the punches. So doing double duty between the 6th and 10th of this month, I not only finished my first run scripts for Hawktober, but also planned, scripted, shot and edited the Darkness episode, just so that something could be uploaded. All seem to be getting back on track. I've started shooting Hawktober and I've done a second pass over all my scripts, but last week I was starting to get cold feet on a lot of ideas. I tried to write 3 different videos and none of them would work. Then on top of that, at the end of last week, what started as a rumour but was later confirmed is that Spyro is being delayed until November. That is a big problem. What was supposed to be a high-profile lead into Hawktober 1st and my 100th episode 2nd is now out of the question. All this heartache I've put myself through to get things done to a strict schedule, all because of Spyro, is now missing the main reason I was doing that in the first place. I gotta admit, it's really killed whatever momentum I had to get this done. But I'm hoping it may be a blessing in disguise, because here is the new plan. I'm still working towards having Hawktober completely finished by the middle of September. If I can get it shot before the end of this month, I can start editing, and once I can start editing, I'll be able to make the time elsewhere to get episode 98 done. What that is, I don't know. What I do know is, it might be a shorter episode. Episode 99 and 100 have been completely changed, with the first being something I can get out fairly quickly, and the 100th episode can now be a milestone episode. Spyro was a compromise given the timing of all this. I was happy enough with it because it's what this channel was built on. But it was going to be too hard to fit both an in-depth review of the remake and all the celebratory festivities into one video. Well, now that Spyro is out of the picture, I can make that happen. It's not written in stone that Hawktober needs to be the first week of October, so I plan to push that back into the month a little to make some room for me to get these videos out. Following Hawktober, I'll have a Halloween episode which I can work on while all these big specials are happening, and have that up before October is over with. Then Spyro in November. These changes haven't just messed things up a little, no. I can't explain the gravity of planning and time spent stressing over the previous schedule down the drain, and I know I'm not the only one affected by the delay. But I thought I had my work cut out for me a few weeks ago. Those weeks now feel like a black hole in time and space, and now I'm running from the back to try and make the finish line in time. So for the short version, between now and the end of October, every upload is most likely going to be a Square Eye Jack episode. Once Hawktober is finished, I'll be making the time to get Square Eye Jack 100 out, at which point I'll finally be free to return to a much more normal, stable schedule. But that'll be after I take a break. Jesus Christ. Seriously though, I don't take breaks because I'm a much better, more grounded human being when I'm amongst all this kind of chaos, so not to worry about me getting burnt out and all that. I'm still burnt out from last year's Hawktober, so if I've made it this far, given that shadow looming over me, I'll get through this. But enough about that, let's move on to the good stuff. October 25th through 28th, I'll be in Melbourne for PAX Australia. I'll be there all 3 days of the event, so if you're going or was thinking about going, please hit me up. I love meeting people and getting to have a chat. Plus, that trip is what I'm working towards right now. It gives me strength knowing once all this hard work is over with, I can have a few days with a change of scenery to regroup. When I get home, I'll be back into the normal mental shit with Spyro, Christmas plans, and getting ready for a series review I'm hoping to start Season 5, 2019 with. So while I'm there, I'd like to make the most of it and meet some people. Like I mentioned, due to the crazy amount of stuff going on, I'm hard pressed to find time for anything outside of primary videos. However, I have started streaming again. There is no schedule and it may be a bit all over the place, but that's how it's been all year. Best way to keep up with all that is to follow me on social media, Twitter and Facebook. Just make sure you're set up to get notifications from both those pages, and on YouTube, be sure to hit the bell and select Always Notify so that you don't miss any uploads. Patreon has been really great this year, so a special thank you to everyone over there as always. I'm hoping that by the end of the year, the Patreon page will get an overhaul with a new reward tier, but I'll have more information on that when the time comes. All the money that comes in from Patreon feeds directly back into the channel. Without it, things like Tony Hawktober, Croc, and what I've got planned for 100 now couldn't possibly happen, so I'm really grateful for all the people who want to help me create these crazy videos. And to that point, I'll have a second video later this week explaining how you can get featured in the 100th episode. Since plans have changed, it gives me a lot more room to do some cool stuff, and it means so much to me if everyone was a part of that. I'll have more information about that in a couple of days, but since I was lucky enough to figure out a replacement solution as quickly as I did, by pure chance and from talking to friends about it, I'm really keen to work on that video. It'll be a much better celebration of how far this thing has come than just settling with Spyro, so for that, I'm happy. And that's pretty much it. Things have been mental, guys. I pre-warned you this might happen at the start of the year, but funny enough, the one thing I was talking about is the only thing that hasn't affected uploads, so yeah. I'm sorry that uploads have been shaky and people miss testing and live streams, top 10s and all that stuff, but it's just how it has to be. Don't worry, I miss it too. I've got so much stuff I want to do, but just can't because of all these deadlines. I started in June thinking it'd make it a hell of a lot easier on myself, but as is with life, you can't foresee what's to come. So again, sorry things have been how they've been, it's entirely out of my control, but before you know it, things will be back to normal. If you have any further questions, be sure to leave them down below, and I hope you have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.